Imagine winning the biggest title of your career, the kind of victory that makes history for your entire country. And then, just days later, having to step back onto a tennis court against one of the tour's most tactically dangerous players. No rest, no celebration tour, just another match, another challenge, another opportunity to either prove that your breakthrough was real or watch the momentum slowly slip away. That is exactly the position Alexandra Eala finds herself in right now, and it might be the most fascinating storyline in women's tennis this summer. Welcome to Toronto, the National Bank Open, one of the most prestigious stops on the entire WTA calendar, has a habit of separating the pretenders from the genuine contenders. Held each year as part of the North American hardcourt swing, this WTA 1000 event sits right in the heart of the countdown to the US Open, and every single match carries weight that goes far beyond a simple win or loss. Ranking points, seeding positions, momentum, confidence, everything is on the line. And this year, with the women's tour more competitive than it has been in years, the stakes feel even higher than usual. Sitting right at the center of the conversation is a round of 32 matchup that has genuinely captured the attention of tennis fans around the world. On one side, you have Alexandra Eala, the 21-year-old Filipino sensation who has just rewritten her country's tennis history books and is arriving in Toronto riding the most electric wave of form of her young career. On the other side stands Caty McNally, the 24-year-old American who spent years quietly building one of the most complete all-court games on the tour and is now using it to make serious noise in singles. Two players, two completely different games, two stories that are moving in fascinating directions, and one match that could change everything. But to truly appreciate what makes this matchup so compelling, you need to understand the journey that brought each of these two players to this exact moment. Let's start with Eala, because honestly, what she has accomplished over the past few months is the kind of thing you rarely see in professional tennis. Just weeks ago, Alexandra Eala stood on the court in Washington and lifted her first ever WTA singles title. And it wasn't just a tournament win, it was a watershed moment for an entire nation. The Philippines had never had a player reach this level, never had a woman crack the top 30, never had a WTA singles title. Eala didn't just break that ceiling. She shattered it, climbing all the way to a career-high world ranking of number 20 and becoming the highest-ranked Filipina in the history of the WTA Tour. Think about what that means for a young woman who grew up dreaming of competing at this level. The pressure, the history, the weight of being the first. And she handled all of it with a maturity and a competitive intensity that most players twice her age would envy. So, what makes her game so dangerous? A lot of it comes back to her left-handedness. As a natural lefty, Eala generates angles that right-handed opponents simply don't face very often. Her serve on the ad side can pull players completely off the court, opening up the entire court for her to attack. Her forehand carries enormous topspin, the kind that kicks up high and heavy and forces opponents backward, disrupting their timing and taking them out of their comfort zone. She controls the baseline with her two-handed backhand, which she uses not just to grind but to redirect the ball with stunning precision, changing direction in an instant and catching opponents completely off guard. A big part of her development came from her years training at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain, and you can absolutely see that influence in her game. The relentless footwork, the heavy topspin, the never-give-up mentality, the ability to track down balls that most players would concede. Those are Nadal Academy hallmarks, and Eala has built them into the very foundation of her game. What's impressive is how she has taken those clay court skills and successfully adapted them to the speed of modern hard courts. She takes the ball early, doesn't give opponents time to recover, and uses her court coverage to make every rally feel exhausting for whoever is standing across the net. And perhaps more than any technical quality, what makes Eala so hard to beat right now is her confidence. She's not just a good young player anymore. She's a WTA title winner. She's a top 20 player. She arrives in Toronto not as someone hoping to compete. She arrives as a genuine contender. That shift in mindset matters enormously in professional tennis, and you can see it in how she carries herself on the court. The one question, the only real question mark hanging over her heading into this match, is fatigue. She just came off an emotionally and physically draining championship run in Washington, and now she's walking straight into a WTA 1000 event with almost no recovery time. Championship weeks are exhausting. The adrenaline, the late nights, the back-to-back matches under pressure. They take a toll that doesn't always show up immediately, but can creep in at the worst possible moment. Can she sustain that remarkable level? That's the thing nobody can know for certain until the match actually begins. Now let's talk about the woman standing across the net, because Caty McNally is far more than a footnote in this story. At 24 years old, McNally has built a career that most tennis fans don't fully appreciate unless they've been paying close attention. Her reputation was forged primarily in doubles. She's a multiple Grand Slam doubles finalist who spent years alongside Coco Gauff developing some of the sharpest net instincts on the entire tour. She knows how to volley under pressure. She understands court positioning at a level most singles specialists never reach. She reads the game like someone who has spent thousands of hours thinking about angles, timing, and how to take apart an opponent piece by piece. And now she's bringing all of that into singles. Currently ranked around the top 50 in the world, McNally has been steadily climbing, picking up wins over top players and proving that her all-court game is no gimmick. It's a genuine blueprint for success in the modern game. What makes her so tricky to play against is precisely the thing that makes her so different from Eala. While Eala wants to hit heavy, control the baseline, and bully opponents with topspin, McNally has absolutely no interest in fighting that kind of battle on those terms. She doesn't need to overpower you. She just needs to disrupt you. Her signature weapon in this matchup will almost certainly be her backhand slice. It's a shot that skids low through hard-court surfaces, keeps the ball below the knee, and completely strips away the topspin that players like Eala thrive on generating. Instead of giving Eala a ball she can load up and whip cross-court, McNally will keep it low, keep it awkward, and wait for the right moment to pounce. The second she sees a short ball, she moves forward, and when she gets to the net, she finishes. Her volleys are crisp, her overheads are reliable, and her court sense tells her exactly where to go before her opponent has even decided where to hit. McNally also enters this match with something extra in her corner: match experience in Toronto. She already fought through a grueling first-round battle against the experienced Tatiana Maria, a match where she had to save match points before eventually coming back to win. That kind of pressure cooker experience, staying calm, finding a way, refusing to fold, is exactly the mental preparation you want heading into a match against a red-hot opponent. She's already adapted to the court speed. She's already been tested. She knows what works and what doesn't in these conditions. Tactically, this matchup is going to be absolutely riveting to watch. The central battle will play out in the cross-court exchanges. Eala will look to push McNally deep into the backhand corner with heavy topspin, take control of the center of the baseline, and impose her preferred rhythm as quickly as possible. McNally's answer will be that low, skidding slice, a shot specifically designed to deny Eala the pace and bounce she needs to generate her best topspin. Every time that slice forces a short ball, McNally will be right there, charging forward and looking to put the point away at the net. This puts enormous pressure on Eala's passing shots. Can she thread winners past a charging opponent at critical moments? Her two-handed backhand down the line could be her most lethal weapon. A shot that, if she hits it cleanly early in the match, might make McNally think twice before rushing forward quite so aggressively. But if McNally dominates the net with her positioning and quick hands, Eala might start pressing, trying to hit too clean too often, and that's when the unforced errors start to creep in. The serve will also be fascinating to watch. Eala's left-handed delivery naturally swings away from right-handed returners on the ad side, pulling McNally wide and creating huge angles to attack with her forehand on the next shot. It's one of the biggest advantages a lefty has in this game, and Eala uses it well. McNally, on the other hand, wins her service games through intelligence rather than power. A kicker here, a slice wide there, a perfectly disguised change of direction to keep the returner guessing. The goal is to keep Eala out of her return rhythm, to prevent her from settling into the kind of aggressive returning that has become one of her trademarks. And then there's the mental dimension, which in a match like this might be the most important factor of all. Eala carries the weight of expectation. After a historic title win and a surge into the top 20, every result she produces is now being watched and analyzed. The tennis world wants to see whether this is the real deal or whether the Washington title was a beautiful one-off. That kind of scrutiny can be energizing, or it can become a quiet source of pressure that eats into your freedom to play. McNally has the opposite dynamic working in her favor. She's the underdog. Nobody expects her to win. There's no pressure, just opportunity. And players who carry that kind of freedom onto the court often play the best tennis of their lives. She can take risks, go for her shots, and trust her instincts without worrying about the consequences of a miss. If this match stretches deep into a third set, the physical side becomes critical. Eala has played a heavy schedule over the past